Park Bo-gum isn't just one of South Korea's most beloved actors. He's a symbol of charm, grace, and near-flawless reputation. But even the brightest stars aren't immune to controversy. From whispers about cult connections to shocking involvement in a celebrity divorce scandal, his story takes some unexpected turns. In this video, we break down the facts, clear the fog, and take a closer look at how Park Bo-gum's image survived some of the most talked about rumors in Korean entertainment. If you love untold celebrity stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a deep dive. Park Bo-gum was born on June 16, 1993, in Seoul, South Korea. And from a young age, he stood out as someone with a rare mix of talent and quiet determination. He was the youngest of 3 children and faced personal tragedy early in life when his mother passed away when he was in 4th grade. Despite the heartbreak, he pushed forward with a sense of focus that would eventually shape his career. His name, Bo-gum, which means precious sword in Korean, seemed to mirror the image he would come to build: sharp, enduring, and deeply valued by fans across the globe. As a child, Bo-gum didn't originally plan on becoming an actor. His first dream was to be a singer-songwriter. He played the piano from a young age and even sent out audition tapes to music agencies during high school. One of those agencies saw something unique in him, but recommended he try acting instead. That unexpected pivot turned out to be the beginning of something big. He made his acting debut in 2011 with a small role in the thriller film Blind. It wasn't a breakout performance, but it opened the door. Over the next few years, he slowly worked his way up through supporting roles in television dramas and films. He appeared in projects like Bridal Mask, Wonderful Mama, and Nails Cantabile, where he started gaining recognition for his expressive eyes and calm yet magnetic screen presence. Things began to change in a major way in 2015. He took on a darker, more complex role in Hello Monster, playing a genius psychopath with a soft-spoken, chilling charm. That same year, he co-hosted the popular music program Music Bank, where his easygoing personality and natural chemistry with co-host Irene from Red Velvet captured viewers' hearts. It was here that people really began to see both sides of him, the thoughtful actor and the charming entertainer. But it was Reply 1988 that turned him into a household name. The show aired from late 2015 into early 2016 and became a cultural phenomenon in Korea. Park played Choi Taek, a shy, quiet genius Go player with a pure heart. His understated performance struck a chord with viewers, who fell in love with his quiet strength and vulnerability. The role earned him numerous awards and made him a fan favorite across Asia. Riding the momentum, he followed up with another hit in Love in the Moonlight in 2016, a historical romance drama where he played a crown prince who falls in love with a girl disguised as a eunuch. His chemistry with co-star Kim Yoo-jung was electric, and the show was a massive success. He was praised for balancing the seriousness of royal responsibility with the sweetness of young love, showing how much range he truly had as an actor. His status as a leading man solidified, Park Bo-gum continued to take on challenging roles. In 2018, he starred in Encounter opposite Song Hye-kyo, portraying a free-spirited young man who falls for an older, divorced woman. The role was a bit of a departure from his previous characters and showcased his ability to play romantic leads with depth and warmth. Beyond television, he dipped into music again, releasing singles in Japan and performing live for fans, all while maintaining his acting career. He also managed to complete his mandatory military service from 2020 to 2022, joining the Navy's Cultural Promotion Unit, which allowed him to keep up with performances while serving his country. Throughout his career, Park Bo-gum has been widely admired, not just for his talent, but also for his reputation as a kind, grounded person in an often chaotic industry. From early setbacks to major roles and fan adoration, his journey has been marked by steady growth, discipline, and a quiet kind of star power that continues to resonate far beyond South Korea. The first time Park Bo-gum found himself in the middle of controversy came as a surprise to many. It wasn't tied to his work or his personal behavior, but instead centered on his family, specifically his father and a religious group that caught public attention in South Korea. Around 2017, a letter written by Park's father surfaced online, where he credited a controversial religious leader with curing Bo-gum of a childhood illness. The letter described how Park, as an infant, was believed to be on the brink of death, but according to the father, he was healed after prayer and guidance from this pastor. The group in question had long been viewed with suspicion in South Korea due to its cult-like reputation and allegations about its leadership. Though Park himself never publicly confirmed his deep involvement in the group, the association was enough to spark online debates. People began speculating about his beliefs, questioning whether he had been influenced by the group's teachings or if he was still an active member. What made things more complicated was his image, so clean-cut, so humble, and so sincere. The idea that someone so wholesome could be connected to something viewed as extreme or manipulative was difficult for fans to reconcile. But despite all the speculation, Park chose not to address the situation in detail. His silence led to even more rumors, though many of his supporters defended him, arguing that the actions of his father shouldn't define him, especially since the alleged events occurred when he was just a baby. After the storm from the religious controversy began to settle, another, even more sensational rumor spread like wildfire. In 2019, news broke that South Korea's famous celebrity couple, Song Joong-ki and Song Hye-kyo, were getting divorced. The two were beloved by the public and had captured hearts after starring together in the hit drama Descendants of the Sun. Their sudden split shocked fans and led to endless gossip and finger-pointing. Amid the chaos, Park Bo-gum's name suddenly appeared in the headlines, not because he had done anything, but because he had recently starred opposite Song Hye-kyo in the romantic drama Encounter. In the drama, their chemistry had been undeniable. On screen, they portrayed two people from different walks of life who fall for each other against all odds. The story was well written, the acting was solid, and viewers loved their emotional connection. But after the divorce news, some netizens began suggesting that the on-screen romance had spilled into real life. Rumors swirled that Park Bo-gum had been romantically involved with Song Hye-kyo, and worse, that their alleged affair had contributed to the breakdown of her marriage. The accusations were explosive, and both stars found themselves under intense scrutiny. Park's agency quickly issued a strong statement, firmly denying all the rumors and warning of legal action against anyone spreading false information. Song Hye-kyo's team did the same. There was no proof, no photos, no messages, nothing. But that didn't stop online forums and social media from feeding the story. For someone like Park Bo-gum, whose image had always been squeaky clean, the rumor was deeply damaging, even if it was entirely untrue. Fans were left confused. Some stood by him, pointing out how unfair it was to drag his name into a personal matter that had nothing to do with him. Others weren't so forgiving, saying even the idea of involvement was enough to taint his image. The media frenzy eventually cooled down, but not before leaving a mark. Park didn't speak publicly about the situation, and instead chose to focus on work and let time do the healing. As the months passed, the noise died down. There were no new developments, and no evidence ever surfaced to back up the claims. Most people came to see the rumor for what it was. Just another product of the entertainment industry's rumor mill. These two incidents, the religious controversy tied to his father and the speculation about an affair that likely never happened, were the main stains on what had otherwise been an untouchable public image. What made them particularly sticky was how they clashed with everything Park Bo-gum had come to represent. He wasn't known for partying, dating scandals, or public outbursts. He was thoughtful, polite, and humble to a fault. These controversies didn't match the man people thought they knew, which made them all the more difficult for the public to process. In both cases, Bo-gum chose not to fan the flames. He didn't go on talk shows to defend himself. He didn't release tearful statements or try to paint himself as a victim. He just kept working, kept showing up for his fans, and kept being the same person he had always been in the public eye. Whether it was smart PR or simply who he is, that decision helped him weather the storm and reminded people that sometimes silence says more than words ever could. The scandals that touched Park Bo-gum's name, though attention-grabbing at the time, didn't leave lasting damage on his career. His fans remained fiercely loyal, and the entertainment industry seemed to trust his steady presence. The religious controversy faded quickly for most, especially since it involved his father rather than any direct action on his part. As for the rumors tying him to Song Hye-kyo's divorce, the lack of evidence and the swift denials from both parties helped keep things from spiraling too far out of control. What helped even more was Park's consistent behavior. He never lashed out, never played the victim, and never tried to stir sympathy. He simply went back to doing what he did best, acting with heart and showing up with quiet professionalism. After the whirlwind of rumors and whispers, Park enlisted in the Navy for his mandatory military service in August 2020. That move, though required by law, came at a good time. It gave him a clean break from the noise and let public attention move elsewhere. He served in the Navy's Cultural Promotion Unit, where he participated in performances and public relations work, still using his talents, but under the discipline of military structure. When he was discharged in 2022, fans welcomed him back with open arms. The time away seemed to work in his favor, reminding people why they admired him in the first place. Since returning, he has slowly stepped back into the spotlight with the same thoughtful energy he had before. He signed with a new agency, Blossom Entertainment, and began considering new projects. Though his post-military roles haven't made huge headlines yet, industry insiders and fans alike are watching closely. Everyone expects him to pick his next move carefully, as he always has. His public image remains mostly intact, mature, grounded, and reliable. What stands out most about Park Bo-gum's current situation is how he handled the ups and downs without turning them into drama. In a world where some celebrities respond to controversy with loud explanations or emotional breakdowns, he took the quiet road. He let time, work, and character speak for him. And now, back on track, he's still seen as one of Korea's most promising stars. Not because he avoided trouble, but because he rose above it. Park Bo-gum's journey proves that even in the glare of fame, silence, humility, and consistency can be more powerful than any statement. Despite the scandals that briefly rocked his name, his career remains strong and his fan base loyal. He continues to be a standout figure in Korean entertainment, not because he avoided controversy, but because he handled it with rare class. Want more stories like this, where we pull back the curtain on fame, fortune, and fallout? Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next crazy celebrity deep dive.